that then Senator Barack Obama gave a speech. I believe it was either at a black church or a historically black college. I think at a black college. And he talked about how much racism there was in America. Again, this is when he was in the Senate, before he became elected and reelected. And he said the Moses generation, that's the term he used to describe the generation of Martin Luther King, the Moses generation, quote, has gotten us 90% of the way there, end of quote. It's up to us, and he described his generation as the Joshua generation. It's up to us to get us the rest of the way there. Now, I thought that was a pretty good description of how much racism I thought there was in America. That, for the most part, work hard, be able to vote, buy a house where you want to buy a house, be hired if you're competent, and so forth. And then we fast forward to his election, and Al Sharpton visits the White House over 70 some odd times in his second term. And they embrace Black Lives Matter. And he says the Cambridge police acted stupidly. And he said, if I had a son, he looked like Trayvon. And he has an AG, Eric Holder, who says, when it comes to matters of race, quote, America has been a nation of cowards, close quote, whatever the hell that means. And his AG describes voter ID as pernicious racism. His term, not mine. Described the fact that blacks get longer sentences for the same crime without, in Eric Holder's case, taking into consideration the fact that the U.S. Sentencing Commission said that the disparity in sentences had to do with the disparity in criminal records of the respective defendants. And so he called this assertion that there was that he attributed this discrepancy to racism. This is Obama's AG, who got, last I checked, he's a tenured partner at Steptoe and Johnson, one of the blue stocking DC firms. He's making at least $4 million, $5 million a year, at least. And then he talked about the fact that black boys are disproportionately kicked out compared to white boys at a given school, or members of another ethnic group at a given school. Never mind that this happens whether the teacher is minority or not, whether the principal is minority or not, whether the school board is primarily minority or not. Outrageous. And a horrible, horrible stain and slander on teachers. What he's saying is you guys go into the profession to teach in order to practice your racism. It's amazing that statements like that get made and nobody says anything on the left. And you watch MSNBC Hee Haw or CNN Nightly, a parade of rich blacks like Van Jones and Don Lemon and Baraki Sellers, who's a Democratic consultant, Yamiche Alcindor. They were on one time, all the same time. And I'm looking at them. This is CNN, where rich black people tell non-rich black people that racism prevents them from becoming rich black people.